From the heart of Houston, it's fun, it's engaging, it's Chattin' with Chelsea. She's daytime's new bestie. Here's your host, Chelsea Edwards. Come back to me.
Hey, besties! Thank you for joining me for another Chattin' with Chelsea. I'm your daytime bestie, Chelsea Edwards. Okay, for the first time, we are doing a relationship real talk. That means we got some folks today. We've got a panel of lovely ladies here to talk about some trending topics over some videos. Will you agree with their takes, or will you want to throw the remote at the screen? I don't know. We'll see. But to kick things off, we've got this video from J&J Travels. Now, you know that feature on your iPhone where you can share your location with anyone indefinitely at any time? Should we turn that on for our significant others?
Reasons we don't share locations in our marriage.
So the first reason is trust. I trust him blindly. I believe what he says over what my own two eyes see. Earlier in the relationship, we actually did share location. His location would show him at some random hotel, but he explained to me later that his GPS was glitching because of the poor signal in the area, and that totally made sense.
Freaking cell phone service, man.
The second is privacy. Just because we're married doesn't mean I need to be all up in his business. He's a grown man. He's a private person, and I totally respect that. I don't need to know who's calling or texting him because as the man of this house, I trust his judgment and I respect his right to privacy, okay? So who is that?
My grandma.
Oh, tell her say.
Yeah, I miss my grandma.
I miss her too. The third reason is it's really unnecessary. Him and his mom share location. So if I ever need to know where he is, I can just call her. She always gets in contact with him.
Yeah, baby, mama love you. She'll never lie to you.
But because he's so protective, he makes me share my location for safety reasons, of course.
Yep, gotta know where you at.
Okay. Yes, obviously a very funny video there. We also have Dr. Viviana Coles, our relationship and intimacy expert in, because you are the voice of reason.
I'm going to try to be.
We will see. So I don't know about that after this one, but I do want to go ahead and turn to the ladies, our panel here. Any thoughts on that one? Even though
So many thoughts.
a joke.
So,
Yeah,
I'm a huge location sharer. I share my location with about 10 people, and in a relationship, it's for safety reasons.
Got it.
I want to know where you are. I want to know how I can get to you, and I want to know how I can help you.
And
That's
it's
the
both
only
ways.
reason. It's both ways. He knows where I am, and I know where he is.
Okay. And what's your relationship status?
I am in a relationship. I have a boyfriend.
Shania has a boyfriend. Okay. Off the market. All right. All right. What other thoughts do we have?
I absolutely feel like for a safety reason, I have siblings who have significant others and spouses, and absolutely they share for many reasons. But from a relationship standpoint, when I was in a relationship, yes, single. When I was in one, just because you're sharing locations doesn't mean they're being honest about why they're there or who they're with. It still comes down to trust and transparency and honesty, and
Definitely.
it has nothing to do with the app, because if you don't trust somebody, if they're not being transparent, that's going to bleed through. And just like that guy said, that, oh, I was at a hotel, and they can give all sorts of reasons why they were at that hotel.
Yes.
I was meeting a client, I was meeting my friend, somebody came in from out of town. Oh, I didn't tell you about that, babe?
I was in the restaurant in the same parking lot.
Exactly.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Lion.
With my ex-boyfriend, yes, I'm single and recently dating. Went on 2 dates this week.
Let's hear more.
With my last boyfriend, I shared my location with him while I was traveling, so he would know where I was and knew when I made it. However, when things were going downhill in that relationship, I would call my girlfriend on FaceTime and we would watch his location to see where he was at for like hours. Just watching. And I'm telling you, me and my best friend. And then one time it was his birthday and he said he was at home, but no, he was at a restaurant. Until this day, I don't think he remembered that I still had his location.
Oh, wow.
So
Yes, Dr. V, yeah.
That's the reason why I think for most people it isn't a a safety thing. It's a being nosy thing.
For sure.
And
I
they
agree.
can get very caught up in that, somewhat addicted to it. And then it's questioning. It's like the person who's looking at the credit cards, you know, online. Why'd you spend this much? Why'd you spend this? It's going to become a problem if you're using it in that way. If you're using it to verify, then you need to be in my office at Houston Relationship Therapy, because otherwise, I think it's great for safety.
I definitely think it's situational.
Yeah.
My children have my location, but I turn my location off when I don't want them to know, but I have theirs on a consistent basis. But in dating, I don't think it's necessary to have locations. If you have a discussion prior to, then you understand, okay, this is what we're doing, this is what we're not doing, but I don't think it's necessary.
I gotta think it's about transparency though, because if you say, I'm gonna be at the office, then if they can't find you and they can't call you, then they know you're at the office because you were transparent, you were clear with where you are, and if you are honest and trustworthy and you are committed to that relationship, then that's where you are. So there shouldn't be this, like, oh, how are they at the mall? Like, they weren't at the mall because this is where we said we were gonna be. So it's being transparent rather than being like, where were you last night? Where were you this morning? Where were you at 2 o'clock when I was looking at your phone and location?
I think like we can summarize it with like our actions are like rooted in our intention. And then the outcome is going to be rooted in your intention. If you have a poor idea of someone, if you don't have trust, if you don't have security in your relationship, it's gonna be predictable what the outcome of it.
All right. Ooh, y'all getting us off to a great start. We have much more, including who should be paying for dates and bills and all that coming up right after this.
Come back to me.